This is The Real Deal, where real estate meets real life. Whether you're a seasoned real estate expert, a first-time home buyer, or if you're simply passionate about hearing small business stories, this is the podcast for you. Join us as we dive deep into the world of real estate and beyond.
Today's sponsor is State 48 Roofing. Keep your roof sexy with the #1 most referred roofer in all of Arizona. They also do free home inspections on your roof. Reach out to State 48 today for all your roofing needs. Well, welcome to episode 53 of The Real Deal, where real estate meets real life. I am your host, Janine Igliane, with my co-host, Ryan Hatcher. And our guests today are the founders of Lindsay Crossing Dental, Katelin and Sean. Thank you guys for being with us.
Yeah,
we're happy to be here. Yeah. You're like our perfect guest because you really are a local business, and we're going to hear your story. And that is something that Ryan and I really love and enjoy. I always say this selfishly. I love our podcast because I love getting to hear stories. So we were actually chatting before we even started, and we had to say, wait, we have to stop and pause it and save it for the podcast. So I'm excited.
And one thing I'll say too, we met because you guys came up to me and introduced yourself at it was our Easter egg event. And I love that. So I appreciate you doing that because I don't think we ever would have met.
Yeah. So no, and we'll kind of get into this, but that's something that's important to us that we appreciate that you do, is reaching out to the community, making the community feel whole and feel welcome and everything. Cool. So that's super important to us.
Okay.
Yeah. So tell us about yourselves and tell us why you got into dentistry.
Okay. Do you want me to start?
Yeah, you start it off.
Okay. So both of us were born and raised in Pocatello, Idaho. So we don't have any family in Arizona. My grandpa was a dentist, my dad's a dentist, and my uncle's a dentist. So I grew up around it.
Yes. It was in your blood.
Yes. Yeah. So it's in my blood. I grew up around it. I always was in the dental office. I always loved seeing patients come in and out. My dad, my uncle, my grandpa, all interacting with patients. Mm-hmm. So just growing up around it, I grew an appreciation for it. I enjoyed the work. I just loved being around it. So kind of all my life worked towards becoming a dentist.
You just always kind of knew that's what you were going to do. That's cool.
Yeah. So went to undergrad in Idaho at Idaho State University. And then I did a master's degree in Dallas at University of Texas at Dallas in healthcare administration. And then I got into dental school in California. So
you've been all over.
Bounced around. Yeah. So then
where in California?
We were in Pomona at Western University of Health Sciences. We lived in Chino there, the Inland Empire. Okay. We've loved living in every place we've been. Yeah. We've been able to meet good people.
How did you guys meet?
So you want me to take this one?
Yeah.
All right. So we're both from Pocatello, Idaho, and he had just gotten back from his mission for our church, and I had just graduated high school, and we were both attending Idaho State University. And he was the pre-dental, and I was pre-dental hygiene. So we had a lot of the same classes together and kind of knew of each other's families, both being from a small town. Yeah. And
so, but you hadn't met before?
No.
Oh, cool.
We hadn't met before. We went to different high schools, and he's a couple years older than me. So.
Yeah. So where'd you go on the mission?
I went to Portugal. Ooh. Yeah. So I got to serve in the same hometown as Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, that's cool.
Where he lives from.
I don't even know who that is.
One of the greatest soccer players.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He actually has the most. Yeah. He has the most Instagram followers out of anyone.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
I think he's very good looking.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, now I know.
We should have led with that.
We should have led with that.
He's pretty.
Yeah.
He is very pretty.
Yeah. No, it was funny because when I found out I was going to Portugal, everyone was like, "Oh, South America's going to be great." A little bit of geography lesson, but
that's funny.
yeah. Awesome. So I was excited. It was great.
Do you get to use your Portuguese much?
No, but it's helped me with Spanish.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, when we moved to the Phoenix area, Gilbert, my first job, I had a lot of Spanish-speaking patients, and so it's helped me quite a bit with that. I'm not fluent in either anymore because it's all mumbo
you don't
jumbo,
use it, right?
Yeah.
I agree. I speak Spanish, and I can understand Portuguese written. When you talk, it's a little different.
Yep.
Yeah. That's cool.
For sure.
So catch us up. So you told us you met California. Then how did you get here to Arizona?
What's our Arizona story?
So after dental school, we actually moved back to Idaho for like 10 months to practice in my family practice. My dad's a great dentist at like all dentistry, like he does everything. And so super like crucial time for me to learn as much as I could from him. But ultimately we after we had moved away from like our hometown, we really enjoyed living in like bigger cities and not having
warmer
to drive.
cities.
Okay.
Yeah, or near big cities. Like we really enjoyed not having to drive 3.5 hours to get to like an airport or something.
Yes.
So we were kind of going crazy, like being in a small town again and being like kind of smothered by our families. We love our families, but it was kind of a lot for us. And
long, dark winters. Was super hard. Coming from sunny California.
You're kind
for
of spoiled.
4 years. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so after being there about 8 months, we kind of started to explore what our next step would be. And I have a friend that works for like a dental company down here, and that's what got me down here. And so I worked with them for 3.5 years. Great company to work with. I learned a lot there. And then we kind of, after that, we're kind of like, well, what's our next step? We've always kind of felt this drive to do something on our own. My grandpa, he kind of started his own dental office, and then my dad and my uncle went in with him. So they kind of have always ran their own office. And then Kate's family too, like her dad's always kind of done his own business stuff. So we kind of come from this family where we've kind of done things on our own, kind of entrepreneurial mindset.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Well, and that is an element, and I don't know who I was talking. We were talking about this. I was with somebody recently. There's one segment of just being good at what you do in your business, but then there's a whole other side of it of being a business owner and running a business, right? So you can be an amazing dentist, but that's another really important key part of running a successful business, and that takes a lot of skill. So it's great that you had both sides inside of you.
Yeah.
Taking that plunge too of like, all right,
let's do it.
Dig our heels in.
So can we talk a little bit about that? Like, what did that process look like? It starts with an idea. You have this idea, hey, I think we want to maybe open up our own practice. What's that first step?
So I feel like I'm talking a lot, but we picked what area we wanted to be in, because I had worked in Chandler, like kind of West Chandler, and then I work at an office in Mesa as well. That's pretty far north.
So Gilbert was like,
we're like, we
zoned
really
in.
love Gilbert.
So
we just started looking at areas. We looked at areas out in Santan Valley, and then we found a spot, and that was like our first. We're like, are we really doing this or not? We found our spot. Like now it gets real if we sign the lease. So we underwent lease negotiations, and then
and you already had your business entity set up and all that.
Yeah. So when so that's kind of another story. When I started with the company down here, when we first moved here,
kind of got all that set up.
They kind of worked
just
with
in
us.
case. And
very cool. Yeah, because that takes some time.
Yeah, and understanding. I mean, that's a whole different mindset too. How to run your business through that versus being a W-2 employee.
So you found the location, secured the lease.
Yes.
And then what?
And then we had to look for, so it was a new building. That was a little complex that was being built out. There was going to be 4 suites in it. So we had to wait for that to be completed before we could kind of go in on the inside, which gave us some time to, find contractors for the inside and, meet with the architect to design out how we wanted the office laid out, what our non-negotiables were, things that we had to have in there. So we were able to meet with a great architect, design all that, found a great construction company, Denco. They specialize in dental offices. Nice. So that was great to, have that specialty really nailed in there.
You got to design the office though?
Yeah. So we designed the layout, and then once we were set on the layout, we started working on materials we wanted in it and colors and all that.
I'm looking forward to it.
I know. We're going to go there tomorrow. Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Okay. So how long did the build out take?
About 4 months for the inside.
Yeah.
And then how do you open? How do you open this business? How do you get the word out? How do you...
we opened doors on July 8th, but we're still trying to figure out how to open. So,
Yeah,
like a grand opening or something.
Yeah, we're gonna do a grand opening. Just didn't want to do it in July of Arizona.
Yeah.
Anyone that's from Arizona knows the summers in
Yes.
Arizona are weird.
Yes.
And people don't love getting outside.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do like a big grand opening in October, November.
Nice. So you had your soft opening.
Yeah. So we're kind of soft opening right now.
Cool.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what is your maybe philosophy? How do you take care of your clients and what sets you apart?
Do you want me to start on this one?
Yeah.
All right. So we love working together. I think it's such a great combo to have.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
We do.
99% of the time.
Yeah.
That's a good percentage.
Yeah, it's pretty good, right? So far. No. And just being really on the same page as your staff, you know, both the doctor and the hygienist as you're going in, and really making that connection with your patients. And like we said, we live in Gilbert, our office is in Gilbert, and so it's so nice to make connections with people that live in our same town and being able to get to know them on a personal level and what their business is and how can we support each other and, you know, help grow as a community.
Yeah.
And so that's been super fun. Neither one of us had worked in Gilbert before. We were both in different cities working in different offices, and it's been such a huge difference. Wouldn't you say that? We've met so many great people already, and it just helps it feel more like home.
Yeah, I
Like
agree.
you said, we're not from here. We don't have family here. And so the people that we meet kind of becomes our family and fills that hole that we have just being here on our own. So
We feel the same. You know, our business is hyper local. You guys kind of touched on that earlier, and that's how you connected to Ryan. Hyper local, serving the communities where we live and where we're interacting. Our kids are going to school, right? It just makes it so much richer. I too, both Ryan and I moved here from out of state, didn't know anybody, you know. I'm blessed. All my family has moved here one by one, so you never know. Your family may you know, come. But yeah, and then your clients become friends. There's so many of them that we get to walk and do fun things with. And so, yeah, we would love to.
We still don't even have family here. It's been 11 years.
Oh, wow.
But we're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Arizona, Gilbert, Queen Creek, these are amazing places to live.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about, because this is something, honestly, for me personally, is I genuinely hate going to the dentist. I really dread it. But because of that fear, I think I was like traumatized as a kid. I really was. They strapped me into my dental chair and did my dental work on me.
Wow.
That's how
Papoose board.
literally. Yes, that is what it was.
That's
it traumatized me. And now I'm to this day claustrophobic.
Used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a straitjacket.
Yeah.
It was. That's why I think I'm claustrophobic to this day. But so for me, it's like my heart races. I get so nervous. So I'm super faithful with my dental work and like making sure I floss every day, brush like 3 times a day.
you
like
don't have to
I
go back.
just want to avoid any
Avoid it,
issues
yeah,
at all
crazy.
costs, you know? So I think I'm not alone though, right?
No,
In
For
that.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your question was kind of like, how are we trying to minimize that fear?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
What's
that
your
was,
approach? Yeah.
That was huge for us. I mean, I think all of us can think about when you walk into like a medical facility that's just like cold,
The
gray,
smells,
like
the colors.
all that stuff like freaks you out, and it puts you into one of those
Almost hospital-like.
states. And I think a lot of like older dental offices, just because some of the materials that were used, they have that smell to them, right? So we kind of had that to our advantage, where we're opening a new office, we're not using some of those older materials, so and then you can all think about like when you walk into like a super nice store or somewhere that just smells good,
Or even someone's house.
You could almost make it like a spa even.
Yes.
Just comfortable.
And
So
the
super-
sounds and smells. So we wanted all that. We wanted like warm colors. We wanted this like a good smell when you walk in.
Yeah.
Just to kind of ease that tension.
What
right
is
when
the
you
scent?
walk
Do you have a specific scent?
So right now it's
Lemongrass is what we have diffused throughout the
I
whole
was just at
office.
one of my clients' house this morning, and I walked in. I'm like, it smells so good in here, and she said it was lemongrass. It was like a diffuser.
Yes, it's a very bright.
Yes.
Soothing smell, but not sleepy. Like,
Well, and it's like
your
the opposite
lavender.
of like dental work smell.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's
So we
good.
were very cognitive of, what colors
Yeah.
to the furniture.
I love that.
Everything when
That's
you
cool.
walk in, what grabs your attention.
Yeah.
So you actually took a marketing approach to it. I mean, grocery stores, the color of the tile is important, and where they put certain foods. So that's pretty cool.
So our thought as we were designing it is designing it based on as if we were the patient, right? So if I was to be a patient at this office, what would be some of the things that would attract me there? What would keep me there? And what would help me want to bring my friends there? And so based off that, then we were like, okay, let's start here. Let's build upon that. So that's right when you walk in, some of the things that stand out. And then do you want to, as the patient goes in, you bring them back to the room. What are some things we've done there to help minimize fear?
Yeah, so once you get back into the room, we have TVs up on the ceiling to kind of help.
I love
you
that.
relax there.
Just the
And then-
distraction. Yes.
Yeah. And then one of our non-negotiables during the build-out process, which added a little bit extra time, quite a bit extra money, was I wanted to make sure we had nitrous going to all the rooms.
I love that.
So it just helps you relax.
Yes,
I think
it
it's
does.
something that can be it's underutilized in the dental industry.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that can be commonly used and just help you relax and have a good time at the dentist. So
And a lot of times people don't know when you, if you're on nitrous, like the laughing gas, it wears off. We put you on oxygen after. So a lot of times people are like, well, I can't get on it because I drove. It's not something that you're going to be out for the rest of the day. You still can drive home. You don't need someone to bring you.
Yeah.
You're on oxygen. You get normal after, but it helps you kind of step away from your mind as you're as you're there.
Yeah.
And
How long
just
does it
helps
take
you
to
relax.
come out of it?
About 5 minutes
Oh, really?
is
Okay.
You're on
So
pure oxygen.
as soon as we turn the nitrous off and you start breathing oxygen, you'll come off of it immediately. But it's good to breathe oxygen for 5 minutes, just kind of flush it out of your system. Yeah.
I've had that because, again, I have a little bit of fear going to the dentist, and it's really helped just relax me, calm my nerves, and you still know what's going on. You're totally awake, but you're just more in a relaxed, mellow state.
See, I had the opposite experience growing up because my uncle Tony was our dentist.
Oh,
and he
that's
was
cool.
so fun. He was just a blast. So we enjoyed going.
Yeah.
And we loved the little treasure chest.
Yeah.
That you could pick something out at the end.
We
So
did let our kids pick out all of our
toys.
items
Oh,
in our
fun.
treasure
That's
box.
cool.
So that's a good question.
Yeah,
So
how
you
do they
treat all
participate?
ages?
Yes.
Yeah, we treat all ages. And our kids have had fun picking out the treasure box items, and they'll come into the office every day and they'll be like, did the item I get picked from someone?
I love
so
that.
so it's
That's
been
so
fun for
cute.
them to
So
see
they're
how it got served.
participating.
Yeah.
So our kids
Yeah.
are heavily involved in our businesses.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's just cool to see how.
Tell us, how old are your kids?
Our oldest is 14. He's at Perry High School.
Okay.
And then our younger two are at Bridges Elementary.
Okay.
5th grader and a 2nd grader.
Okay.
Nice.
So
14, 10, and 7. So
How fun.
it's fun for them to be involved with the office and kind of start to get that.
I love that
entrepreneurial
because they're
mindset.
right, and they're seeing their mom and dad build something from nothing and build it up. Let's talk about the marketing, because this is going to be a really important part for you guys, right? To get the word out. So what are some of the strategies that you're going to employ, or maybe you've already done?
Yeah, so it's been clearly a lot starting from scratch. Like I said, just getting to know, especially reaching out to you, Ryan, getting to know people that are local businesses too in the area. Luckily, our office is around so many housing. That was one of the first things that drew us to that area. Is everything was already kind of established with housing.
Because tell our
around
audience
us.
where you're located.
We are located on Lindsay and Ocotillo, right by the Sun Valley Church. And so there's a lot, that need was there. There wasn't anything established already right there. And so, just the ease of having things by your house, especially dentists when you're going at least twice a year.
Yes.
It's a little more frequent than the doctor or most other medical professions.
Yes.
So we wanted to make sure that was easy for people, and getting involved in like the Be Local Gilbert, Be Local Chandler, for all those new move-ins. You know, it's so hard we knew that 4 years ago moving here, we're like, oh yeah, we have to find a new pediatrician, and we have to find a new place to get our kids haircuts, and optometrist, like all these things that just compiles upon when you move. And so that was a big hit for us, is making sure that we're attracting those new move-ins and try to help ease that burden of finding all your new people in your new cities.
You could almost have somebody assigned to just being involved in that, just to be the kind of the face and you know, reaching out person for your business. I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
Specifically, some of our like marketing has been trying to do more of like the Instagram and Facebook ads and that.
So who does that for you?
So Katelin does most of it. We do have someone hired on that helps us as well.
Yeah, she helps put together mainly with the Facebook and like the ad portions, because that's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
Facebook is weird. So I'm not as
and it changes.
Yeah,
Facebook's a hard one to understand.
Well, it's one of those.
I don't know if it's just the generation, like we don't do TikTok, but
I feel like though this is something I've had to learn, is it's like a necessary evil, right? Like my brain is like, I want to go sell real estate. You guys are like, I want to help people take care of their teeth. Yeah. And it's like, no, but now you got to like become a marketer and put all this stuff on social media, and everybody's on it, right? Yeah. So you have to show up.
It has been nice, based off like how you said everything's changing. So with our office, you're able to just book online, schedule your own appointment at any time. So that's been really helpful for our office. I know like the younger generation, like even me, I don't love to get on the phone and call someone. A lot of times when I remember something, it says I'm like going to bed and I'm like, no one's open at midnight. Yeah. But I'm thinking, I need to get this done.
Yeah. Because it's on your mind right then.
Yes, you finally have time to like think and have your head on straight. So that's been a big thing, just linking that to all of our posts. Like, just click here to book.
Make your offer, I love that. Make it easy for them to connect and find it. Yes, that's huge.
Yes, since we are so newly opened, like anytime someone books, like I get an email or something. Oh, nice. It was funny the other night when one of these monsoon storms rolled through. It wakes you up at night, but I got an email at like 1:30 in the morning that someone had just booked an appointment.
So do you have a little chime or something?
It just comes through my emails.
But like, someone's booking in the middle of the night. That's crazy, right?
Yeah, so like the monsoon woke them up. And
they're like, wait, I have to, or maybe, that happens to me though, actually. Cool. I do have stuff in the middle of the night where I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot to do that.
Yeah.
Well, that actually kind of leads in. What sets you guys apart? So we were talking about, there seem to be a lot of dentists, but to your point earlier, I don't want to drive 45 minutes to go to the dentist when I go. So having somebody local and in close proximity is great. What do you guys do to be different and stand out?
So I love listening to podcasts. So I was super excited about this. Cool. But one of the podcasts I was listening to, it was saying how important it is to go to, and like most other things, but I'll just focus on dentistry because that's what we're talking about. But going to a dentist that owns their office. So
they can control it.
Yes, they can be. There's great dentists that don't own their office. It's not necessarily about their work, because most dentists could be great dentists. But as far as owning your own office, if something went wrong or, you needed to get in, we're more likely to, this is our work, this is our office, like, we're going to make it right for you. Nice. And when you call, if you want to talk to the owner, you're going to talk to the owner. It's not some third party where it's like, well, I don't even know who to reach to, or we'll try to get back to you. So just being there.
Yeah. You guys also offer not only dentistry, right?
Yeah. Do you want to go into that, the aesthetics part of our office?
Yeah. So something else we offer along with almost all common dental procedures is we offer Botox treatment to help with some of the aesthetics and for therapeutic purposes as well. So Botox it became FDA approved in 2002, I think it was, and first was used to kind of help with migraine headaches and stuff like that. And then they started figuring out it can be used for aesthetic purposes as well, to kind of help smooth some wrinkle lines and all that.
Love that.
Yeah. So, and then also it can help in the jaw for like TMJ or like clenching, grinding your teeth. Yeah. So it's super beneficial for that, because if someone ever has like TMJ issues, it's something that's pretty tough to correct. And a lot of the treatments are here wear like a night guard or something like that. That's not super fun or sexy to wear at night, right? So it's been a fun treatment to have, like, that we can offer in lieu of
kind of a Band-Aid effect of it's not really solving the problem in night guard, it's helping prevent the side effects of the problem. But the injection of the Botox into the muscle is helping at the root cause of the muscle contractions.
And one of my outlooks on dentistry, I love like the natural smile, like the natural look of teeth. Yeah. And I think as we age and everything, some of that can get a little lost in maybe some of our wrinkles or like thinning lips, stuff like that. So some of that can be enhanced through using Botox or fillers, that type of stuff.
So it sounds like that's a competitive advantage. Most dentists don't offer that, right?
Yeah. It is something newer. Yeah. So we're super happy to offer it, and I'm trained in it, and Katelin's trained in it as well as a hygienist.
So treating not only the mouth, but the whole smile as a whole, we can enhance, like you said, we can enhance the lips, we can enhance the lines around the face, and as well as another big thing with dentistry is an injection called a gummy smile. It's used with Botox, and it helps prevent that lip from rising. When some people, when they smile, they show their teeth, but then they also show a huge chunk of their gums tissue. That lip just goes way up. And it's not as aesthetic. Most people just want their teeth, right? That's the bright white part of their smile. And so with that injection, it'll help lower that lip, lower that contraction, and help the teeth be the ones to stand out, which is
some shine.
I love that.
Which is what we all want.
I love that.
So
can you guys talk to us about some best practices when it comes to taking care of your teeth? Because prevention, right, is like the biggest thing.
Yeah. Do you want me to go into that as the
I'll start. You can take a little break.
Okay, good.
Get a drink. So I think one of the most common things like that I see is like when we brush our teeth, we think we need to like scrub, like get a wire brush out and scrub them, right? Because
you just destroy your gums.
Yeah, you destroy your gums, and the enamel on our teeth is like the hardest material our bodies have. But like over time and repeated wear and everything, it can for sure wear down. So I think one of the most common things is like that mentality that you really have to scrub. So we really love to recommend to our patients like soft or extra soft bristle toothbrushes.
So what do you think about like electric toothbrushes?
Love it.
You do?
But yes, the electric toothbrush does all the work.
Okay.
So when you're using an electric toothbrush, you just like hold it on your teeth and kind of move it along.
Okay.
You don't have to do like the scrubbing motion, anything like that.
Good to know.
So just super light pressure. And then, so that's like pretty much for brushing. And then one of the other things, like if coffee drinkers, wine drinkers, stuff like that with staining, or even like high school kids, like eating a lot of candy or soda, best thing you can do after that is just swish with water after.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't run and grab a toothbrush and brush right after, stuff like that, because it can be super abrasive on our teeth. Our saliva does a really good job at buffering and helping our teeth stay healthy.
Okay.
And drinking water and swishing with water after can help get that pH back and help our teeth stay healthy. So
why don't you talk about the pH? What is like the pH of our mouth when it's in a
neutral? Yeah.
neutral
so
pH.
Just any water, like neutral pH, 7.
Okay.
So cavities happen in our mouth when the pH drops, so when it becomes acidic. So if you think of like those sour candies or Mountain Dew, stuff like that, that drops the pH quick, and then if you repeatedly eat stuff like that, it keeps that pH low, creates an environment for cavities to happen
What
quickly.
about sweets?
Carbohydrates.
Yeah, so really when I say like candy and sodas,
like cinnamon rolls, ice cream.
Yeah, it can be like any sweets, any
Really?
fermentable carbohydrates. So that's, and I love eating stuff like that.
Yeah.
I drink soda, I eat candy.
It's my arch nemesis.
Yeah,
I know.
right? So it's tough because all that stuff tastes good. It's fun to eat and drink, but we can do it smart for our teeth.
Well, I have a question about that. This is really for my son, so I hope he's listening. I'm going to make sure he does. Mouthwash.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on mouthwash? And something that I've been battling with my son about is he thinks it's okay, he's 12, to just mouthwash and not brush his teeth. And I'm trying to explain to him, you need to brush your teeth.
Yeah.
So help me out.
Good job.
Help me out with this.
Yeah, listen to your mom. She's right. Yeah. So yes, the brushing is super important because
It's the mechanical.
It's that mechanical action of removing like that little bit of. We all know how our teeth feel at the end of the day if we don't brush enough or if we eat too much sugar. It feels kind of fuzzy. So you need that mechanical action to remove that. Mouthwash is great, but I don't think it's 100% necessary to have.
Okay.
Might be controversial to say, but I don't think it's 100% necessary to have healthy teeth.
It's an
and
addition.
gums. Yeah.
If you want.
If you're
Okay.
brushing
So
and flossing.
Supplemental.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What about flossing?
Not supplemental.
Not
That
supplemental.
is
Yeah.
that is a necessity.
Somebody told
Or
me
a
once-
water flosser.
Okay. Somebody told me once if you
yeah.
don't floss, like just the plaque and all that stuff can actually get into your bones and cause problems, like big problems. Is that true?
Yeah. So if you're
More
not
so
flossing,
cardiovascular.
yeah,
Really?
it can cause some other issues in
Heart
the body.
problems?
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, because if you're not flossing and not getting cleanings regularly, then bacteria can just sit under your gums. It can sit in between your teeth. And then when you brush or you start to floss and you get that bleeding happen, right?
Yeah.
So some of that bacteria can enter the bloodstream and affect other systems in the body.
So regular cleaning twice a year at least?
Yeah,
At
at least.
least. Yeah, that's
So I always talk to my patients about that. I try to explain because the mouth is so small. You know, you can't really see it, especially when we're talking about like under the gums, that area where you floss, which we call the periodontal pocket. So I explain, imagine when you're outside or whatever, you're riding your bike, you fall, cut your arm, and you get dirt, rocks in it, and you just leave that under your skin. What is your skin gonna do? You're gonna have an immune response. Your blood, everything, your white blood cells are gonna go to try to remove that. You're gonna have tenderness to touch, inflammation, bleeding until you get in there and remove it.
That's a great
So
example.
same things going on in your mouth when you leave that bacteria in there uninterrupted. Your body's trying to get rid of it. And so it's causing inflammation, redness, bleeding, tenderness. And so what we really need to do is we need to get down to that root cause to remove that bacteria. Bacteria unremoved, that's when we started talking about it. It can get into the bloodstream, and that's when we kind of went into that cardiovascular where it can get bacteria into your heart. So obviously that's on a grand scale, but it certainly is very linked, our oral cavity, to the rest of our body. A lot of times I feel like people think there's that separation where it's like, it's just my mouth.
Yeah.
Well, your mouth is the gateway to the rest of your body. And so there's a huge link and huge connection to overall health. And so it's super important. I like to try to educate my patients, and, you know, we need to make sure that you're starting out with a healthy spot for everything entering into your body.
Well, speaking of that, when I lived in the Dominican Republic on my mission, so third world country, you get to see the results of not taking care of your teeth.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of these people are super duper poor, never went to a dentist, probably didn't ever brush their teeth, and have one or two teeth and their mouth is falling apart, really. And I'm like, ooh. So that was scary enough to just say, okay, better get the flossing in. But it just reminded me, what are some, like, do you have any like horror stories or like what's the hardest part of your job?
Man, I had a patient the other day, and it's hard for me. One of the things I love about my job is when someone comes in pain, I'm sad that they're in pain, but I can help them get out of pain the same day. So like yesterday I had a patient come in and they had a really bad infection. if that infection's been brewing for a while, then it's going to make it a lot more difficult for me to get them numb. So I was able to help them out and get them out of pain, but it wasn't as smooth as I would have liked it because it was just a little bit more difficult getting them numb. So when tooth's broken down or there's a big cavity, something like that, that infection just sits and brews, and it changes back to the pH. It changes the pH and makes the anesthetic not as effective. So, yeah, so most rewarding part, I love being able to do like a root canal procedure, extraction, stuff like that, to be able to get people out of pain same day. It's hard to see people come in and they're like, I can't even drink water. Like it hurts my tooth and stuff like that. So it's really cool to see, like, you know, sit down for an hour, hour and a half. We can get you taken care of, and then you can drink water. You can, go about your day and live your life. So it's hard to see when it's affecting the functionality and affecting how they're eating and everything.
Yeah, it's not just miserable looks,
right?
You know, with your teeth.
Right. Yeah.
And you don't realize it until you're missing one or, you know, something, you're in pain.
Yeah.
A little tooth can just drop you.
Yeah.
That pain.
Yeah.
I think one of the underrated things about dentistry, last year we had like 1 million doctor's visits, you know, and it's like you go to one doctor and it's like, all right, you need to go to this doctor to get your x-rays, and then the radiologist is going to read it, and then we'll get back to you in a couple months, and then we're still not going to know what's going on, right? Dentistry, everything is there for the most part. We have all the technology to do all the x-rays. We read the x-rays. We can treat you that day, diagnose what's going on. And so I'm like, what's all the hate on dentistry? Like, we get you taken care of. Yeah. And most of the time it's that day. Maybe you have to come in for a follow-up, but it's not near like
it doesn't
the
have
capacity.
to be so scary.
Yes. Of
you
the
guys
medical.
take insurance, and I'm sure you have plans if someone was all cash too, right?
Yeah, definitely.
We do have in-office insurance that, you know, is just like a low monthly thing, and it'll basically same thing as dental insurance. All their preventative stuff is covered, and then they get a discount on treatment. So it's a good benefit for those self-employed people that don't have, you know, benefits from their work.
Don't ever want someone taking care of themselves, money to be what stands in the way of that, right?
Exactly.
Right. Or lack of insurance or whatever.
Well, it's such a huge confidence piece too for people's lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If their teeth are messed up, then they don't smile.
Yeah.
You know.
Last question before we jump into our speed round, if you're up for it. What are your thoughts on like teeth whitening?
We're for it. I think there's a time and a place for it. Everyone gets sensitivity differently. Yeah. So it's probably going to cause sensitivity no matter, everyone will say.
Depending on the.
Yeah. I mean, we use a product that's supposed to be like very low chance of sensitivity. Yeah. But if you use it too much or too often, then you're going to get some sensitivity. But our teeth are very porous, so any whitening product works by opening up those pores and removing the stain that way. So I think it's great. Everyone's natural shade to their teeth though is different, so results vary. I will say. Yeah.
So like yesterday, I had a patient come in that I had been doing, you know, gum treatment, like a deeper cleaning on, and she came in for a follow-up and everything looked great. And so the root cause was, you know, we got her healthy and she got some of her cavities fixed. And so at that point I was like, okay, if you want to go into whitening at this point now, we would approve that. And so she was grateful, and she bought some whitening strips, but that's definitely never the first. We got to make sure that your teeth and your gums are healthy before we would endorse any aesthetic whitening treatments.
Good point.
Well, I just was thinking, I love that you guys get to partner on this. Like, you get to be a part of this as a team, and that's huge. I mean, not only are you able to work in the business, but on the business, and it's super cool.
Do it together. Yeah.
That's a great, and you enjoy working together.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. It's very rare, I would say.
So how can someone find you? If someone's like, hey, I need a dentist, where can they find you?
We love Instagram.
Yeah, honestly, we love, like, like interacting with people on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if someone's on Instagram, Lindsay Crossing Dental, just like the street Lindsay, we're right off Lindsay and Ocotillo.
I don't even have your number. It's just through Instagram.
I know.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
We honestly, we chat. One of our patients, we've become really good friends with her, and she found us through Instagram. We have a great relationship with her.
I love that.
So that's one of the easiest ways.
We do have a phone number though,
Yeah.
and we have our
we have a phone
website.
number and a website.
Yeah,
Yeah,
give it to us.
So the website's lindsaycrossingdental.com, and you can book online there too. And there's our bio, things about us, a tour of our office,
Nice.
and then if you want to give our phone number,
because
I don't have it memorized.
It's soft opening.
It's still soft.
Yeah.
So phone number is 480-351-3187.
Nice.
Yeah.
And we're gonna make a little video of your office tomorrow.
Yeah,
when
we'll
we
show
check
it
out,
off.
so.
Yeah. Well, thanks, guys. I love
Yeah.
this. I love.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, just hearing your story and kind of what you guys are doing. It's awesome. But you up for our speed round?
Yeah,
We
let's
love
do it.
to do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite color?
Purple.
Red.
Ooh. Favorite food?
Dumplings.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Any Asian food, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we like Asian food.
I asked someone this recently, and they said it was Paul, right? He said Chinese buffet.
Yeah.
Chinese buffet. See, when I say Asian food,
Okay.
Chinese buffet would be probably
Yeah,
towards the
that's-
bottom.
Oh,
so.
really?
That might not even be on the
I
list.
was like, wait.
Oh, I do love the Chinese donuts. Those are so.
Oh,
good.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, the
Yep.
Anyways,
the mochi nuts.
Okay. Do you have a favorite drink?
Oh.
I do love coconut water,
Oh.
Yeah, you do love coconut water.
specifically from Costco.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't love saying I drink soda, but right now my favorite drink is just zero sugar Pepsi. So
Oh, okay.
He has been
I-
on the
I think-
Pepsi kick.
I think you guys made an Instagram post about you liking sweets.
Yeah.
Or something. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
yeah, and I drink Coke as well. So if we have like people
was
that are
gonna
like
say,
Coke
yeah.
people, like
I don't
but
like Pepsi, so that's
Oh,
all. That's all
really?
him.
How
Okay.
funny.
Don't put me
honestly
in there.
though, with soda, I think the 10-ounce cans are perfect.
They
I know,
are.
They're
me
perfect.
too.
Totally agree.
That's what I have.
Yeah, that's
Just
all
a
I
little
drink is like a
something.
10-ounce
Yeah.
can. Yeah,
Cherry
I'm like,
Coke
this is
Zero.
perfect.
It's Cherry Coke Zero in those little cans.
Yeah,
That's all I need.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah.
That's
12
awesome.
ounces is too much now for
Too
some
much.
reason.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like,
We're getting
that
old.
extra 2
I
ounces.
know, right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm interested to hear the answer to this one. A favorite sound?
Oh.
I do, the drill. No, I do love the sound of like it's very soft, but the diffuser.
Oh,
I do
I was
love.
gonna say that too.
I do love going in front of the diffuser and just like
okay.
the smell, the
Okay.
feel,
Okay.
the sound.
All the things.
That's hilarious. I love it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Ah,
I thought you were
I
gonna
like-
say the
I
beach,
just-
the water.
Yeah, I love the sound of. I mean, we were in school in Southern California, so we love the beach
Yep.
and we love the sound of waves crashing.
Yeah.
But right now, with how crazy our lives have been, I just love like silence too.
Oh gosh, yes.
Like,
that
oh,
is
it's
the
quiet for a
truth.
minute.
I
Like,
know. I'll take
Our kids
it.
are in bed, and then it's just like quiet in
I
the
love
house.
it.
I'm like, oh, this is great. But
Okay. Are you guys readers? Do you have a favorite book?
I'm more of a podcaster.
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that's
So-
our next question, but
I'm not a
is your-
huge reader,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah. And I mean, we can get into the question, but yeah.
No,
yeah.
you're good. Not everyone, like, it really is that way. I was talking to someone yesterday, and he's like, I can listen to it, like, all day long, but, like, to
Yeah.
sit and read, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have a favorite podcast?
So I do love. I only listen to two different types of things, like business dental,
Okay.
dental
Okay.
podcast,
Yeah.
and then like uplifting Christian church
Oh, I love that.
podcast.
Nice.
That's all I listen to at the gym, and I love it.
While you're
Yeah.
working out.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, I can't. Do
Yeah,
that.
that's my go-to.
So I have to have like something
Rap.
hard. Like,
Yeah.
That's my
yes.
favorite, too. Yeah.
And then I can chill and listen to
Yeah.
it. But I cannot work out and do it.
Yeah.
That's I can warm up to like some podcasts. Like we listen to the same podcast and we like to talk about what we learned
Nice. Oh,
and
I love
stuff.
that.
But then when I get into my workout, I'm like, okay, I got to focus on my workout
Otherwise
now.
I'll be
Yeah.
there
I got to
forever.
hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so Sean, do you have a favorite podcast or just the same?
Just the same.
Okay.
Yeah, we like to listen to a lot of the same books right now. I've just we just put together our handbook for our office.
Oh,
So that's
Some
his
of our
favorite
standard-
book.
I was
favorite
gonna
book's my
say,
handbook
yeah,
right now.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
SOPs.
Boring.
Yeah,
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
That's cool. Hey, it's
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
He's been reading that a lot. So
I bet, yeah. All right, last but not least, favorite vacation.
Oh, I think we have the same.
Yeah.
You say it.
1, 2, 3. Singapore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Singapore.
Our 10-year wedding anniversary and my 4th year dental school, we went
Graduation.
How fun.
Yeah, it was like
Just
our
you
selection
two?
trip.
Just
Yeah.
us, yeah.
How
That is a
fun.
great trip.
Yeah.
For those reasons alone.
Luckily,
Yeah.
it was 2019, right before. Who
Oh,
knew
yes.
that?
Yeah.
Good thing we did
Yes.
it when we did.
Yes.
Yeah.
I still haven't been on a cruise. I was supposed to go on my 40th, and that's when that hit.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
haven't done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's killing me.
Yeah, so we were living in LA and we were looking at trips to do. We looked at Hawaii, but then we like watched the show Crazy Rich Asians.
Oh, I
You
love
know?
that.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and
I
we're
love
like,
that
let's just
movie.
look into Singapore. And it was actually like way cheaper to go to Singapore than to
Wow.
Hawaii. For
How
a
was the
week,
food?
so amazing.
Amazing.
As an Asian food
That's
fan.
cool.
Yeah,
Amazing.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everything was so clean. All the food we ate was like in like all off the streets and everything.
Yeah.
It wasn't like any like official
Oh, wow.
restaurants.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
clean, so
Yeah.
safe.
How
Yeah.
fun.
Like-
Yeah, highly recommend.
That's a good one. No one said
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
Yeah.
in all of our episodes. You're the first. Well,
Yeah.
thanks,
Yeah.
guys, for being with us. We
Yeah.
appreciate it. We're
Yeah.
looking forward to coming and seeing your office tomorrow.
Yeah.
And anybody that's listening, go look them up.
Yes, we'd love to
Come
have
see 'em.
you.
Yeah. Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yes.
Thanks for listening to The Real Deal, where real estate meets real life. Make sure to follow or subscribe to the Home Selling Team on YouTube, Instagram, and Spotify to stay up to date with our podcast.